So once again, good morning. And for this morning, we'll be talking about our sixth module, which is related to ethics, professionalism, and engineering. So people generally think of engineering and computer scientists as ethical professions. And because of that, tandaan mo, we act in an ethical manner dapat. Society kasi expects us to act and make decisions in a way that we could protect the public. Eto ha, eto naman ay para sa atin lahat. Even in our social media account, kailangan pinapakita natin kami, lalo na kami professor, 'di ba? Hindi man ako nagpo-post ng kung ano-ano dun sa wall ko. So tayo ay professor, kayo future engineers, kailangan inaalagaan natin yung ating mga reputations. Not only na tayo ay servant ng ating Panginoon, but also because of the profession that we have. Kasi ang point dyan, nakatingin yung society sa lahat ng ginagawa natin at nag-expect sila sa atin. So we have to be very professional. Sabi ko dito, so we are to be professionals dapat, we are to be ethical, and we are to protect society. So yun yung inaasahan po sa atin ng komunidad, ng netizens. Sabihin ko na netizens, 'di ba? Kaya be careful sa mga post po natin. Ayan. Then we should be able to define profession, professional, and professionalism. So ano bang ibig sabihin niyan? Ano bang pagkakaiba ng profession, ng professional sa professionalism? And then i-define natin yung ethics at saka ethical codes. And then we're gonna relate our professional actions to our ethical responsibilities to society. So what is profession? Ano bang naisip natin pag sinabi nating profession? So basically, sabi ng American Heritage Dictionary, an occupation, a vocation that requires advanced study in a specialized field. The body of qualified persons of one's specific field. Ayan. So, after you graduate, yun yung magiging trabaho mo. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, 'di ba? Hindi ko sa inyo pinipilit yung IC design. Kung gusto mong yun yung maging profession mo, then be it. Mag-specialize ka dun sa field na yon. Pero since tayo ay computer engineering, ang dami nating field na pwedeng puntahan, di ba? Pwede ka mapunta sa IT, meron pa mga cyber security, di ba? Meron pang, pwede ka rin naman sa AI, pwede ka rin mag-academe, pwede ka sa software development, di ba? Huwag naman sa computer technician, di ba? So, pwede kang systems administrator. Ang dami. Ang point ko lang, you should learn how to specialize. Ngayon kasi students kayo, maring nalilito ka, iba-iba yung mga tinuturo ng professor, iba-iba. Depende kasi yun sa specialization din po namin. So the term comes from the Latin professio, meaning to confess or to declare. Yun yung profession. Yung professionals naman, they declare themselves to the public as experts in a field of study such as law, medicine, accounting, computer science, and engineering. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin nun, meron kang knowledge talaga, meron kang expertise dun sa certain specialization na napili mo, reference to your profession. Yan. So, yun po yung tinatawag natin na professional. Eventually, after you graduate, na nakapag-work ka na, meron ka ng experience sa industry or nag-graduate school ka pa, you'll now become a professional. Diba? Then sabi dito, engineers and other professionals have a specialized or special responsibility to the public, lalo na kung ikaw ay pipiliin mo sa government ka magtrabaho, di ba? So, you should also use your skills and knowledge, di ba? And you should also ensure safety and increase the public good. Ganun naman kasi sa government, lalo na yung country natin, democracy. So, kailangan para sa ikabubuti ng mas nakakarami. Yan. Yung professionalism naman is the performance of that responsibility in a manner that the public can trust and rely on. Yun. So medyo hindi ito madaling ituro. Kasi hindi lang naman 'to a matter na magaling ka talaga dun sa field kasi professional ka. If you are applying professionalism, so kailangan andun na yung trust talaga ng public ay nasa iyo, 'di ba? Hindi nawawala. Ibig sabihin may napatunayan ka na in your chosen field of specialization. So ano naman yung ethics? Ito pinag-aralan na natin pero nagre-recall back lang ulit tayo. Yung ethics kasi, the study of the general nature of morals and the specific moral choices to be made by the individual in his relationship with others. Example, the philosophy of morals. These are basically the rules or standards governing the conduct of members of a profession and a set of moral principles or values and the moral quality of a course of action. Ngayon, ano naman yung morals? Kasi kanina, define natin yung ethics. So, ano ba po yung morals? Of or concern with the judgment of the goodness or badness of human action and character pertaining to the discernment of good and evil. Yan. Designed to teach goodness or correctness of character and behavior, instructive of good and bad. Being or acting in accordance with standards and precepts of goodness or with established codes of behavior. Rules of conduct with reference to standards of right or wrong. At minsan, yung morality, nagbabago din, depende dun sa country, depende dun sa society, and even in the religion or spirituality. So, who makes those rules? Bakit ba may mga rules? Tingin mo, bakit ba may mga rules tayo? Siyempre, because of the society. 'Di ba? Don't you realize before meron bang mga cyber security? Wala naman, 'di ba? Data Privacy Act, 'di ba wala naman. Pero na-establish yung mga rules na 'yan, yung mga laws na 'yan kasi nga kailangan siya ng society. Ngayon, 'di ba, meron din yung protection for yung gender sensitivity, 'di ba? Kasi the society needs that. 'Yan. So tandaan mo, professionals use ethics to define how to protect the public good. Again, professionals, tayo yan, will use ethics to define how are we going to protect the public good. Ethical philosophers describes the three basic doctrines of ethics. So meron niyang tatlo. May tinatawag tayo na objective, meron tayong tinatawag na subjective, meron tayong tinatawag na imperative. Yan. So ano bang ibig sabihin ng objective ethics? Pag sinabing objective ethics, ito yung absolute ethics. The eternal truths, the shalls and shall nots, the moral principles that are self-evident and invariant. Thou shall not kill, thou shall not steal. True ito in most societies. Hindi ko sinasabing lahat, 'di ba? Pero sabi ko nga iba, pwedeng pumatay, 'di ba? Yung iba, pwede tayo naman, naniniwala tayo siguro lahat dito na masama ang pumatay at masama ang magnakaw. So, absolute yun. Objective yung ethics na yan. So, thou shall not kill, thou shall not steal. And many more. Yung subjective ethics naman, the ethics of the individual. The instinctive deep knowledge of what constitutes ethical behavior without the rules. The ethics of the situation or situational ethics. Doing what is right here and now. The action may be different in a different time, a different place, and a different situation. So it can include civil disobedience, running a red light when a runaway truck may hit you, 'di ba? Siyempre, alam ka naman mamamatay ka. Hayaan mo na lang lumagpas ka dun sa red light kaysa naman mamatay ka, 'di ba? So subjective ethics po 'yon. The sit-ins for racial equality, breaking the law for the greater good para sa mas ikabubuti ng karamihan na minsan kailangan nating i-break yung batas. Ang tawag po doon ay subjective ethics. Katulad nung nangyari nung pandemic, 'di ba? So since may pandemic, minsan yung may mga rules tayo na kailangan i-violate para sa greater good ng karamihan. Meron din tayong tinatawag na imperative ethics or the legalism, society's definitions of good and bad. Ito na yung the systems of laws. The type of behavior adhered to because human beings want these rules and want other persons to follow these same rules. sabi ni Hans Reichenbach. Yan, example nito na lang sa religion, 'di ba? As you know, even sa faith na meron tayo, in some countries hindi talaga allowed ang Bible, hindi allowed na magbasa ng Bible. So yun yung legalistic nila na ini-implement sa kanilang bansa. Pero in our country, we're allowed naman to read the Bible. Yan. So we also have the canon of ethics. Yan. Ano po ba yung canon of ethics? A statement of ethical beliefs and behaviors agreed to by a body of people. It guides against which ethical behavior will be judged, guides against which a person can make ethical decisions. We do have a lot of code of ethics. Actually, even in ICPEP, for computer engineers, meron din. Pero ang gusto kong i-share sa atin, yung code of ethics for engineers. Each of the engineering societies have developed code of ethics. Minsan, pag mechanical, meron sila. ECE, meron sila. Even yung mga IT, ComSci, meron din sila. Most of these are based on model code developed by the Engineering Council for Professional Development in 1947. Ito yung main reference talaga. Engineering Council for Professional Development or the ECPD. Yan. So, example of which, yung Code of Ethics for Association for Computing Machinery, ACM developed a Code of Ethics in 1992. And then the code states, commitment to ethical professional conduct is expressed or expected of every member, voting members, associate members, and student members of the Association for Computing Machinery or ACM. Both the NSPE and the ACM Codes of Ethics are at the end of this section. Yun, i-cover po natin yan. Pero parang katulad nung sa inyong, di ba meron tayong organization sa CPE, yung Access. Malamang meron din kayong ganyan. Yung bawat miyembro, yung iba bumuboto, iba associate members or student members or whatsoever. So, Code of Ethics for Engineers. So, pupuntahan po natin yung Code of Ethics developed by the National Society of Professional Engineers or the NSPE. So, meron siyang 4 na parts. Preamble, Fundamental Canons, the Rules of Practice, and Professional Obligations. So, pwede mo siyang makita dito sa URL na to, www.nspe.org/ethics/codeofethics/index.html. Pero maiksi lang naman yan, kaya i-cover po natin yung content. Hindi siya katulad ng Labor Code of the Philippines, yung Constitution, Philippine Constitution, di naman. Yan. So, ito yung NSPE Code of Ethics for Engineers. Ito yung preamble. Engineering is an important and learned profession. As members of this profession, engineers are expected to exhibit the highest standards of honesty and integrity. Engineering has a direct and vital impact on the quality of life for all people. Accordingly, the services provided by engineers require honesty, impartiality, fairness, and equity, and must be dedicated to the protection of the public health, safety, and welfare. Engineers must perform under a standard of professional behavior that requires adherence to the highest principles of ethical conduct. And then these are now the fundamental canons. So ito yung medyo kailangan po nating tandaan. Engineers in the fulfillment of their professional duties shall, number 1, hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public, perform services only in areas of their competence. Ayan. Kaya don't you realize that, bakit ba mga professors ninyo, kailangan may masters, kailangan engineering din. Kasi nga, we should perform in the area of our competence. Issue public statements only in an objective and truthful manner. Act for each employer or client as faithful agents or trustees. Diba? Ganun yun. May mga confidential information kami sa kumpanya na hindi ko naman i-read ninyo kasi iba naman yung nature ng work ko sa company namin, iba yung responsibility ko doon at ibang responsibility ko sa inyo as your teacher. Yan, avoid deceptive acts. Yan. Minsan kasi deceiving yung ginagamit yung profession to deceive others. Conduct themselves honorably, responsibly, ethically, and lawfully so as to enhance the honor, reputation, and usefulness of the profession. Under ng fundamental canons, meron na tayong tinatawag na rules of practice. Ito lang yung kailangan mong tandaan. fundamental canon, and then rules of practice. Una, engineers shall hold paramount the safety, welfare, health, and welfare of the public reference to Canon 1. Ito yun, yung Canon 1, di ba? So under that, ano po yung mga rules of practice? Una, if engineer's judgment is overruled under circumstances that endanger life or property, they shall notify their employer or client and such other authority as may be appropriate. Engineer shall approve only those engineering documents that are in conformity with applicable standards. Engineer shall not reveal facts, data, or information without the prior consent of the client or employer except as authorized or required by the law or this code. Nonetheless, meron kang, kaya nga minsan pinupinuan ng mga NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Engineers shall not permit the use of their name or associate in business ventures with any person or firm that they believe are engaged in fraudulent or dishonest enterprise. Engineer shall not aid or abet the unlawful practice of engineering by a person or firm. Engineers having knowledge of any alleged violation of this code shall report thereon to appropriate professional bodies and when relevant also to public authorities and cooperate with the proper authorities in furnishing such information or assistance as may be required. So yung iba pong mga rules are also associated with other fundamental canons. So, etong mga to, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, meron din silang mga kanya-kanyang rules of practice. And then, pwede mo siyang makita dito sa Code of Ethics ng NSPE.org. Yan. So, with that, ito yung ating kailangan activity. So, for our activity, so reference sa Code of Ethics na diniscuss natin, gagawa ka lang ng simple case study. So, you're gonna split yourself into 4 groups. And each group is tasked to review a common case. So you have to select the canon that you believe to be most appropriate for the questions asked. So yung canon, ito yon. Yan. Pili ka dyan. And then find the corresponding rule of practice and read the clauses. So yung mga tinutukoy dyan na rule of practice, ito yung isang example for Fundamental Canon 1. And then, check mo din yung for Fundamental Canon 2 up to 6 doon sa ating website. And then find the corresponding rule of practice and read the clauses. So, parang i-relate mo, ano bang, saan ba related yung case na to? Be also ready to briefly describe the case and what rules you believe are significant. So, yung example po ng mga case study na makikita po natin ay galing sa NSPE magazine. So, ito yung mga example. Ito yung isang case study. Case study 1. So, review the facts and the questions. So, kailangan mo lang sagutin yung mga questions na ito relative dun sa rules of practice at saka dun sa fundamental canon, dun sa Code of Ethics. So, this is for group 1. Ayan. Ayun yung sagot. And then, hindi ko ibibigay sa inyo yun syempre. And then, ito yung for the case study 2. Ayan. So, we have also the fact and then the question. And then, i-reference mo ulit kung saan siyang fundamental canon. And then, ito yung case study number 3. Ito yung facts. Ito yung question. Again, saan siya related na reference na fundamental canon and rules of practice and then, ano yung discussion. And then, yung case study number 4. Ito naman. Facts and then question. Then, ganun lang din ulit. Alright, so I guess yun lang naman for module number 6. But before I end, ituloy ko na din yung for the final project para isang record na lang. For your final project, ito yung gagawin po natin na task. Ito nilagay ko lang yung mismong title ng final project, which is an example only. Ang title ay Navigating the Ethical Maze, a case study on data privacy concerns in smart city initiatives. So, example lang to, pwede magbago, depende dun sa may isip mo. For the project overview, the final project for our subject involves conducting a case study on a prevalent issue related to computer engineering. Again, ikaw yung maghahanap. Isang prevalent issue na you feel and you think na related sa computer engineering. You'll be grouped into teams of 4 members each, and each group will select a prevalent issue within the field of computer engineering for their case study. So, ito yung unang task na kailangan po natin gawin for the proposal. And then, you're gonna be forming your group comprising 4 members. Then we encourage diversity within groups to bring different perspectives to the case study. Mas maganda yung ganon. Kung medyo may mga tao na feel ka na laging kasama, try mo naman na makigroup sa iba para makita mo yung diversity. And then, pipili kayo ng topic. So each group will select a prevalent issue within the field of computer engineering for their case study. It may include the following but not limited to. Halimbawa, cybersecurity threats, data privacy concerns, ethical considerations in AI, di ba? Digital rights management, and so on. So basta kailangan prevalent issue siya, yung parang nangyayari talaga siya existing, isang issue na gusto natin na pag-aralan at i-address. Ensure that the selected topic is relevant, significant, and aligns with the objectives of the course. Again, ako yung magde-determine yan in your proposal next week, whether accepted sa akin yung proposal mo or not. Gagawa ka lang uli ng simple PowerPoint slides with the title and then explaining yung background ng prevalent issue na napili po natin. And then, project objectives. So you have to understand the legal and professional implications of the selected issue within the context of computer engineering. You have to conduct in-depth research to gather relevant data, case studies, scholarly articles, more of literature review na yan. Analyze the issue from multiple perspectives, including legal, ethical, societal, and professional. Diba? Develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills through the exploration of real-world challenges and learn to communicate findings effectively through the preparation of an IEEE paper. Lalagay mo siya sa IEEE paper. Yung sequence ng activities natin, yung una, topic research and analysis. So you're gonna be conducting thorough research on the selected issue. You have to gather data, case study, and scholarly articles, analyze the issue from legal, ethical, societal, and professional perspective. After nun, prepare ka na ng IEEE paper. So you could follow the IEEE paper format. So yung mga sections na kailangan ko are the following. Meron kang abstract, introduction, background, methodology, results, discussion, conclusion, and references at the minimum. Pwede yung madagdagan, pwede yung mabawasan, depende yan sa strategy mo on how you present your case. Ensure that the paper adheres to academic writing standards including proper citations and references. And then, mahalaga yung peer review. So, mag-exchange ka ng drafts of your paper within the group for peer review. So, hayaan mo na i-check ng ibang group mates mo. If you would like other groups to check, that would be better. So, you could provide constructive feedback on the content, structure, and clarity of the paper. And then, we revise and finalize. After incorporating the feedback from the peer review into the IEEE paper, we revise and finalize the paper, ensuring coherence, accuracy, and adherence to IEEE guidelines. And then we develop slides to summarize the key findings and insights from the case study, then prepare to deliver the presentation to the class. Then yung deliverables po natin, IEEE paper that address a selected prevalent issue within computer engineering and PowerPoint presentation that summarize the key findings of the case study. How do I evaluate? Siyempre, titingnan ko yung lalim ng research conducted on the selected issue. The critical analysis and discussion ng issue from legal, ethical, societal, and professional perspective. Sana makover mo to lahat. If you could make table, figure, diagram, illustration to explain this, better. Clarity, coherence, and professionalism ng IEEE paper. Effectiveness ng presentation and communicating key findings to the audience. Timeline natin, so up until next week po yung proposal, tingin ko naman kaya mo nang makover to. And then after nun, pwede ka na mag-prepare ng IEEE. Then i-review yan after the IEEE, then we present. And then final presentation and project submission. Again, these are just additional notes. So we encourage collaboration again and teamwork within each group. Provide guidance and support as needed throughout the project duration, emphasize the importance of thorough research, critical analysis, and effective communication in preparing the IEEE paper, and fostering a learning environment where students can engage in meaningful discussions and reflections on real-world issues in computer engineering. So ito yung some of the suggested outlines of the IEEE paper to address prevalent issue in computer engineering. So meron kang title page, andun yung title ng paper, author names and affiliations, abstract of 100 to 200 words is enough. Introduction, background info on the prevalent issue selected for the case study. importance and relevance ng issue within the field of OE, and objectives and scope of the paper. Then literature review na. Review of existing literature related to the selected issue, summary of key findings from scholarly articles, research papers, and case study. Identify mo yung gap at saka area for further investigation. Sagutin mo lang tong lahat. Swak na yung IEEE mo. Then methodology, describe mo yung methodology used to conduct the case study, explain mo yung data collection method, the sources and the technique, overview of the analytical framework applied to analyze the issue. So kung meron ka pong survey questionnaire, ilagay mo dito. Kung meron kang interview, ilagay mo dyan. And then results, presentation ng key findings from the case study, data analysis and interpretation, illustrative examples or case studies to support the findings. Then discussion, interpretation of the results, magkasama na yan, pwede naman. In the context of the prevalent issue, comparison with existing research and literature, implications of the findings for computer engineering practice, policy, or society. For the conclusion, summary of the main findings and contributions of the project, reflection on the significance of the case study in addressing the prevalent issue, then pwedeng ilagay mo na rin dito yung recommendation. Halimbawa, conclusion and recommendation. Yan. Then references, these all sources cited in paper formatted according to IEEE citation style. Then pwede ka rin maglagay ng mga figures, tables, or additional data as supplement to your work. So this structure provides a comprehensive framework so that we could organize the content of the IEEE paper, ensuring clarity, coherence, and adherence to academic standards. Each section should be carefully crafted to effectively communicate the research findings and insights to the audience. Additionally, it's essential to maintain a professional tone and use clear, concise language throughout the paper. Thank you.